Hello everyone, welcome to Stitch 6 of Stitch 22 project on week 6, beg your pardon. This week we're going to look at cretan stitch. Now cretan stitch is one of my most favourite stitches. It's a little bit like a looped stitch where we're going to change the direction of the needle from facing away from you, as you can see here, with the thread underneath the needle coming out, then another little stitch facing towards you, again over the thread. So you form this alternate directions of the needle, and if you can see from where in the film, that you can see that it is forming, to me it looks very much like a fish skeleton, a backbone, where I'm taking large stitches, and there's the crossover of each little individual stitch process is forming a miniature zigzag right in the middle of the row. Now you can vary that by using a small stitch, again facing towards you, and a small stitch but a long way away from you, and again facing away from you. So a small stitch away from you, facing towards you, but the distance between the two stitches that you're putting, think of it as two rows of two parallel lines, where the top of the stitches is in one trajectory and the bottom of the row is in a different directory. So you're almost making railway lines of a sort, if you think of it like that. So you're going away from you, but the needle's facing towards you. The needle's facing away from you, but it's just small stitches. So that way you don't get so much of a fishbone skeleton. You get more of a zigzag. I hope you can see that from the stitching here. My thread's getting a little twisted and it's difficult to show it clearly to you. Can you see that zigzag happening? But you're actually taking a small stitch, but a long way from the previous one. A small stitch, and again remembering to bring it up over the thread. Now you can see here that I'm working on top of a previous row of stitching, and it's really great fun to build up the layers with this type of stitch as well. I'm going to take this thread to the back of the fabric and start with another one. It's quite interesting to try and link them together. You can randomly just put them on top of each other and almost ignore the layer underneath if you like, or you might like to almost infill the stitching that you've just done. I've put a different colour on this time so you can see what I'm trying to do. Needle towards you, needle away from you. All that is the rhythm. It's quite an energetic stitch for your arm. Now I'm going in between the gap of the row of the lovely terracotta threads that I did earlier. Needle away from you. Each time the thread coming underneath your needle, can you see that lovely pattern that's emerging, where they're actually interconnecting with each other, like a dovetailing together, I suppose. So there's one area of this sample where I've done them very randomly and almost ignored the layers underneath, making it look like a tousled area of wild grasses. There's another area where here I've done the stitching where I've done little stitches, but big steps between them. 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 3, and it's forming a sort of a thorn-like